Hello, hello. It is Sarah Wagley, your astro coach here for Wellness Astrology. This time for the moon in Gemini, coming off of that new moon in Taurus. How was that new moon? How was it? How did it go? Also, what has surfaced for you between April 7th and the 25th-ish? What came up? What thoughts, what experiences did you have? Because that was a really long conjunction between Saturn, the North Node, and Venus. And I know how I felt it. I'm a Scorpio rising, and it was that conjunction occurred in my fifth house, which is has to do with children and passions and inner child wounds. And let me tell you that I was triggered by every inner child wound I think I have. So that was what came up for me, and I made some choices and changes and said some things that needed to be said based on how things surfaced for me with that conjunction. So that's just my personal example. But for you, it could have been like your friend groups needed to change, or maybe if you're a Pisces rising, maybe something for you needed to change and go a different way, or you became aware of something. And so I kind of really invite you over the next few days to really, reflect on April and tune into your heart space and tune into your body and really notice what you felt, what you processed through, what you experienced, things like that. So that's that, the Taurus new moon. Hopefully you made some good intentions and you're ready to rocket launch forward because the energy is here for it. Y'all, this moon in Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury. We have Pluto in Aquarius, air sign. We have Mars in Leo, fire sign. We have Saturn and the North Node still in Pisces, but Venus is now going to move into Aries and conjunct Neptune. This. We have Venus, Neptune, Mercury, and Chiron now in Aries. Okay, this is initiation. Something new is emerging. Okay, we are no longer in the coddling, comforting, floating on a cloud energy of Neptune and Pisces. No, you're going to have to take some action. Now, that being said, take the action where you need to take the action. Okay, really take advantage of this week's energy. Okay, particularly with this moon in Gemini, you're going to have a lot of action that you're going to be able to take. You're going to probably be thinking in a million directions. So do your best to stabilize yourself and ground yourself. So definitely take the actions, right? Creative actions, maybe getting public about your creativity. Maybe taking some action towards your money goals, maybe your debt relief goals, that kind of thing. However, as I just said, with this moon in Gemini, and Mars, Pluto coming out of their opposition, the sun coming off of the T square to them, and Uranus and in Taurus and the South Node in Virgo, we're still letting go of material things and we're still going to experience a lot of earth plane type changes and things like that. So you're going to have to do your best to ground yourself. You're going to have to take the intentional time to rest, to take care of yourself, to get offline, to disconnect from digital things and get connected with humans. Gemini is a chatty sign, right? Mercury is communication. He likes to talk and he's an Aries. So you might have some spicy things to say to some people, right? You may have some stuff you need to get off your chest. You may have some things that just, you got to say them. You got to get them out of your energy, out of your body. Sometimes we hold these things in thinking that, well, I don't want to rock the boat. By all means, rock the fucking boat. Okay? Rock the fucking boat because we ain't playing anymore. All right. We're about to have this chart for the next couple of days, the 29th and 30th of April, is going to be the type of energy that we're likely going to be feeling for the next few years. So if this 2 days is any indication of how you're going to manage this type of energy, pay attention and take notes. Okay. So, yeah, we're done playing. Also connect to the earth. This is Taurus season after all. This is about earth. So connect to the earth, connect to the dirt, the grass, the sun, the trees, the birds. I've heard so many stories in the last couple of days of people who take morning walks. And I used to take morning walks all the time when I lived in Arizona. I don't do that as much here. That might shift in the next few months, but when I was in Arizona, I did. And when I first started doing 45-minute walks in the morning or 3.5 miles, whatever happened first, um, I did it with a podcast on or music or whatever. And then at some point, somebody suggested that I do it in silence. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to be so boring. No, it wasn't because I noticed things. I noticed the birds. I noticed the critters. I noticed the trees. I noticed the sunshine. I noticed the nature waking up in the morning because I was present for it. So take time to take your headphones out. Take time to get outside and just sit and be, or take a walk, and just be outside, will be really beneficial. And so I'm also noticing something I started noticing earlier this year, content creators getting a little slower with their content. And I'll admit I have even been dragging my ass with content, but I don't want to quit doing it. So I'm not going to, but it certainly has me reflecting on my content. But I notice a lot of content creators are taking more time off from content creation. Y'all have to realize that content creation is a full-time job, especially if you are a TikTok content creator, which I am not, thank God. But TikTok content creators have to do at least one video a day. Some do as many as 8 or more a day. Okay. Um, what does that mean? What does that look like? That means you constantly have to have your phone in your hand. You constantly have to have your camera rolling, right? It's not how I do it, where I get myself together, get my lighting set up, get the tarot cards, get the oracle cards, look at the charts. Like I do a lot of behind the scenes work that I can just come on here and talk about it. But if you're doing like day in the life of, or progress of, or if you're doing farming content or whatever it is, you got to be doing content all the fucking time. And they're starting to take breaks from it, and people lose their shit every time someone takes a break from doing content. Please remember that these people are people. We're allowed to have lives. We are allowed to have a life that you don't know about because you only see us online. Okay? So think about that. I think that content creation and influencer culture is dying, and I am here for it because I think there's a great space for content creation. There's a great space for being an influencer. I think that it's gone over the top to the point where people think that they can make it a full-time career. And I don't know that that's the best thing, because what kind of skills is that other than making videos and, trends on TikTok and things like that? Like I can see it both ways, because I do know some content creators who are conscientious and very intentional and take time off and are very intentional about their time off, to the point where, like, their audience is probably well accustomed to it. But like Katie Evelyn Slake, who's somebody I follow on TikTok, took a week off and people lost their shit because she wasn't posting videos. And she's like, look, I was on vacation and I wanted to be with my husband. Do you really want to know what she's done with her husband? I don't. I mean, go girl. Her husband's hot, by the way. But anyway, I digress. But the point is that we need to get better about respecting boundaries when it comes to who we follow online. This was something that I had to learn a couple of years ago, and have shifted my perspective on a lot of things, a lot of people who I follow online. And just kind of gotten okay with, what, they might have just needed a day off, even if they're a daily content poster. But anyway, I say all of that to say, like, this is a chatty social moon with a lot of fire, so people may have some stuff to say. And not to talk about the Scorpio full moon that's coming up in 2 freaking weeks, But I feel like we're going to start to see a lot more people getting vocal and people getting very loud and very cranky and very uneasy about what's going on. And a lot of that is people still sitting in their victim shit, right? So, like, I get it. I understand. And take responsibility. Take responsibility. You don't get to be victim forever. And we're done with Neptune and Pisces coddling everybody. Now it's time to speak your mind, say what needs to be said, do what needs to be done. Da 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 da. Okay, let's see what's up with the tarot for this moon in Gemini. Um, Hope you guys watched the sun and rising signs video. I know it was kind of long, but it's time stamped so you can skip through. But I do recommend listening to the beginning where I go over the charts and all that. We get the Knight of Latinum in reverse. I forget which Ferengi this is. I think I blocked out the names of the Ferengis and the Klingons. They're not my favorite. Um, Knight of Latinum in reverse. Oh, I mean, Ferengis are like swindlers. Um, okay, that's interesting. What just came through? Your quietness or your thinking that, if you say what you authentically feel, or if you present what you authentically want to present creatively, your thought that not doing so, because you don't want to rock the boat, is rocking the boat because it's a disservice to someone else. So you don't want to say something to somebody that's going to piss off that one somebody. Meanwhile, it's pissing off or hurting somebody else. You not presenting your own creativity is pissing people off because they know you can do more. They know that you can, that you can create, that you have created creativity to share, but you're hurting yourself and the people who want to receive your creativity by your own fear of judgment. So put yourself out there, say what needs to be said. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stirred up energy here very quickly. Very quickly. Yeah, this energy is about to get fucking wild, isn't it? Okay, we got the moon upright. This is shit. What is her name? Oh my God, what is her name? Rolaren. Oh my goodness. Okay, was not coming to me. The moon upright. Yeah, you're being illusioned by your own self, by your own um not inability, but your own lack of interest, or your own uh avoidance, your own avoidance of feeling your feelings, feeling what makes you happy, feeling your feelings, what pisses you off, what makes you content, what makes you feel good. Like, I feel like, oh, how do I say this? Stop being scared of what people are going to think. Because when it comes down to it, people are going to think what they're going to think, say what they're going to say, and it doesn't really fucking matter because it makes you feel good. Like, I feel like I could say that 90 different ways, and I feel like I have said it 90 different ways on this channel, but I mean, we're done. We're past the point of protecting people because we, again, step out of the victim and the scarcity and the fear mongering. Like, kind of have a fuck it attitude about it. but also like do it in a way that's making you feel good. Because if you do it from a fuck it mindset, it's gonna come out like you did it from a fuck it mindset. Like but if you do what you need to do from a space of, you know what, I love me, I love this other person, and I can't keep hurting me, and I can't keep abandoning me, and I can't keep holding me back because you don't like what I do. Believe me, y'all, most people that I'm around on a day-to-day, all the time basis do not do astrology. Okay. It's not what I talk about with my family, with my friends. Not what we talk about. Not at all. Maybe occasionally, like we'll talk about the full moon or Mercury fucking with people but on a general basis, I don't talk to my people in person about astrology. And yet I can talk about astrology all day, all night, as you know. See what's up with the oracle. But my point is that doesn't matter. I still love astrology, even though my family doesn't get it. My friends don't get it. It doesn't matter. I still get it. And I do have some specific friends that I am friends with because we're astrologers. And I got to have somebody to be like, oh, dude, this thing happened on this transit. Oh my God. Like I still need those people. But most of those people I don't know in person. I met them through other sources online. But you got to get okay with compartmentalizing um, your creativity and your passions. The otter and the cattail. Interesting. This is peace. Oh, yeah. Okay. This card probably speaks for itself. You have to be at peace with yourself. If you're not at peace with yourself, it's written all over your body. Your inflammation, your joints, your hormones, your all of the things. Like not to get all preachy about it, but if you're not at peace with yourself, we can tell. If you're not at peace with yourself, you can probably tell. You just choose to ignore it. What I got. Have a good one. I'll see you for the next one. Take care.